Here we are with another Box podcast. Got my co-hosts here, Bradley Powers, Sherry, Brett, and Kris Joan Marie. How's everybody doing?
I'm
Yes,
good,
hi
thank
there.
you.
Welcome to Out of the Box podcast with Sherry Brett and Kris Joan Marie. And would you like to introduce yourself? And Jim Andre, alien abductee, energy healer. Would you like to introduce yourself, Sherry?
I'm Sherry Brett. I am from PWI East Historic. I am a abductee and ongoing communicator with the extraterrestrial. I am an investigator of all things strange and unknown, and I'm really, really happy to be here. Hello, guys.
How you doing? It's good to have you here.
Thank you. Shaman and Witch is Sherry. And Kris
Yes,
Joan Marie, how would you describe yourself?
I am I'm a mystic. I'm an empath. I would consider myself a flute to my fellow people and also an omnist. So I believe that all religions matter.
Right.
Well, Bradley, tell us a little bit about yourself now.
Yeah, I'm a mystic. I follow the druid path as a Hereford Knight. And I'm also a necromancer, amongst other things, but I call myself a mystic because it's much easier than going through a list of varieties of gifts and attributes I've been blessed with over the years. Although I must confess, even though I have been blessed with gifts, they come at random. I haven't worked out how to switch these gifts on or off, so I'm not in control of them like some people are. So I couldn't call myself a psychic because even though I have had psychic attributes, I couldn't call myself a psychic because I'm not a psychic 24/7 like some are. But I have witnessed paranormal phenomena enough to know that there's another world out there. That's what I've recognised, and not everything is as it seems. And what about you, Jim? What can you say about yourself?
Well, I'm an alien abductee, contactee, energetic healer, and I have a tattoo that was left during post-abduction of an alien gray. I'm in contact with the Zeta Reticula, and I get random downloads, telepathic downloads from the extraterrestrials.
Absolutely. Yeah, so today we're going to be discussing on today's show a favourite of Jim Andre's religion. Is there a God? And the answer is I believe there's a God of the Bible who's a spiritual entity, and then there's the prime creator source who is an energy. What are your feelings regarding that, Jim?
I believe God, the extent of God, is a source, a universal energy that makes all things possible. In essence, it's a source, your consciousness, and the air that you breathe.
And what about you, Sherry?
I believe in God, but I believe that God, like Jim, is a universal energy. He's in everything that's around us, and I believe that he's in, again, the consciousness and very aware of everything that goes on. I don't physically believe that he's a being himself, but I do believe in the energy of him. I believe, like I said, he's linked to the universe and to all things around us. So definitely.
We are all gods in our own right. We all have the ability to create with imagination or ideas that come to fruition, with inventions and technology.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, it's in the DNA because we
so
are the
we
Earth's
in our
children,
own
aren't
right,
we?
right. We in
Yeah,
our own right are able to create. In other words, to me, God is nature,
yeah,
which is part of the universe.
yeah.
Trees. You guys know I like trees. I do believe that.
And nature need not a creator because nature has a way of creating, producing, sustaining, destroying, and rejuvenating itself.
Yeah, definitely. I agree in that 100%.
Yes, and God, the prime creator sources and energy that created the multiverse. He's neither male nor female, yet it's both masculine and feminine. And like Sherry said, prime creator sources and energy. However, there is dispute over the God from the Bible, like he's actually a spiritual entity, and who created the universe. But some say the Bible was instigated by extraterrestrials. What do you think about that? The Bible was instigated by extraterrestrials.
Oh, for sure. They, I mean, the Egyptians already told you that, didn't they?
What do you
I
think, Jim? Chris?
No, I said the Egyptians already said that. You know, the aliens have been here for centuries before the Bible was ever written.
Well, the aliens to me are part of the same creation as everything else in the universe.
It's all energy.
All based
Me,
on
per-
energy. Yeah.
me personally, I believe that obviously the universe is the creator. The universe is what put everything here. I believe that the affiliation of God's energy was formed by the universe and by all the things that make this world what it is. I also, I believe, yeah, I do believe that extraterrestrials were involved in the creation of things as well. But again, they were created by the universe itself as well. So
Exactly.
to me,
Right.
I do believe that I think there's many things that are involved in forming what we have around us today. And I believe that the Bible itself is written by people that see images and visions of the the energy of the universe.
Yeah.
And
Everything in
God's
existence.
name was just put into to make
Everything.
it more realistic.
Everything in existence stems from that essence, from that source.
Yeah, definitely.
And we have to take into because I think the Bible holds energy, but we have to take into consideration the fact that the Bible was manipulated by the Council of Nicaea around 300 AD. So, but it doesn't mean that not everything in the Bible is a lie, does it? It actually means that they manipulated what could be considered the truth. Although, like, are miracles real? Do miracles actually happen? What do you think about miracles, girls?
Oh, yeah, they happen every day. I mean, I see them often. It depends on what you're looking for. You know, do you need a miracle or are you hoping for it? And I'm hoping for one right now. So, hey, if you think hard enough for something to happen, I believe that it will. And it's,
First, sorry, carry on, sis.
Jonathan Kipp says he believes in miracles.
I do. I believe in them, but I believe that miracles or something within us is something that we really believe in and we really want to manifest. So if we believe and we trust enough, then these things will happen. I do believe that miracles of things happen through prayer, but I don't believe that the prayer is answered by God itself. It's answered by the universe. That's how I believe it happens. The Bible itself, I believe there are some truth to the Bible, but I think a lot of the Bible is manipulated, and I just think that certain things have just been put into characteristic in the book that are not necessarily always fact. But that doesn't mean that I'm speaking against it.
Jonathan Kipp says he had stage 4 cancer. Something helped him survive the unsurvivable.
mm-hmm. What was it?
Stage 4 cancer.
No, what
Yeah.
helped him survive? Does he know?
That's a miracle.
Oh,
It is most definitely, and like I said, I do believe in it. But I believe it's in the faith within yourself and the faith of others that are around you and want something to become good. So yeah, they're definitely real.
Yeah, miracles. I believe miracles are real. If it happens outside the Bible, it's called magic, which I believe magic is real too. If it happens related to angels of God, can be deemed as a miracle. And miracles, I think, can restore someone's faith as well.
Jonathan
Yeah,
Kibb says.
definitely.
They didn't have faith in the first place.
Jonathan Kibb says my cousin in a dream helped him.
Oh, see, I knew something had to be something.
He had been dead. He had been dead for a while.
Usually you get a sign like a bird or something, depending on what it is, like that means something to you.
I believe that there's many ways that the other side reach out. I believe they do come physically as well in their own form. I do believe that as well. They're around us all the time, and they're always watching over us, and they're allowed and to make certain things happen. You know, we are all linked, even when going into a past life. They're not, they're not connected to us. They're still very much connected, and it's good that he done that for you.
Is the synchronicity of time a miracle, I wonder, or is fate, or to do with fate and destiny?
I think it's a bit
Makes
of
you
both.
wonder, doesn't it?
Yes.
I think it's a bit of both.
Do you think everything is random, or?
No, not at all. Nothing's random. It's all.
There is random things, yeah. There are random things, but I believe that most people's, I believe our paths are created the way that they're supposed to be created, and I think it's to learn lesson and to learn who we truly are within, like spiritually and openly. So I believe that to an extent there's there's an understanding, there's a path that's formed for us that we have to either take. Some of us go the wrong way, but there's ways to bring ourselves back onto the right path. I believe that.
Do you believe that everything is predestined according to the wishes of fate and destiny?
No.
No.
Well, for an example, for an example, a guy's pumping gas, minding his business, and a sniper shoots him and kills him. Right? That's his fate, his destiny. He's meant to go at that particular place in that particular time by that particular killer, right?
Okay.
Now, how does that differ? How is that any different than thousands perishing in a sunken cruise ship? Or hundreds dying in a plane crash? How is that any different?
I don't think it is. Like I said, I believe that pathways are marked, but some can go off the wrong way. So obviously, when the sniper done what he done to him, obviously that wasn't the fate of him. That was the fate of the person that killed him. And I do believe that sometimes in life, your pathway can be, disrupted by other sources and other energies. So even though you have a path, I believe that sometimes your path doesn't go directly the way that it's
why
linked
would
out to
somebody
be.
die from illness? Why would an illness? Why would cancer or something take somebody, for example?
Well, that would be fate and destiny, right?
But that would be part of fate and destiny. It's a marking, isn't it? Really. So.
Yeah.
Or somebody perishes with a natural disaster. That would be fate and destiny as well, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Like Titanic and stuff for the incidents,
Well, I believe the Titanic was sabotaged. The Titanic was sabotaged, so I don't think that was fate and destiny.
You think it was sabotage? All right, I need to hear this. Please tell me why. Tell me why.
Because they had people on there that were against the Federal Reserve being formed at the time, and people with big money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Right. The guy with the diamond. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but is that really true? Did he really have the Hope Diamond?
I'm not talking about
Titanic.
I'm not talking about the diamond. I'm talking about there was
have the Hope Diamond on the Titanic.
Yeah, but I'm not using the diamond as a reason that the Titanic sunk.
There was meant to be a lot of people on that ship that weren't quite to the standards of what people wanted them to be, like misleading and stuff. I do believe that like you're saying that you don't believe that was a fate or
Right, I
anything
believe
like
it
that.
was
But
sabotage. It
in
was
my opinion, it
sabotage.
was, because obviously that person that formed the ship knew that that ship was unsinkable, and if there was to be an accident, you know, it wouldn't survive. So in a way, it was fate, because even though that happened, they didn't survive that. So, and that person making that ship knew that if that happened, that it wouldn't happen. And I believe that signals and stuff weren't given correct. I do believe that as well. That signals weren't given correct. So I do believe that they were led to the iceberg, so that many of these people perished. So I do believe in that it was fate.
Yeah, but supposedly that
Felt like that. I don't know why.
that ship was indestructible, even hitting an iceberg.
Yeah, but they were aware that it wasn't. There was some on that ship that knew it wasn't. And they knew that there were people on there that they didn't like and they didn't agree with. And I believe that it was led to its fate. I do believe that a lot of people lost their lives as well as innocent as well. So I do believe
Literally
that
broke
it was
through the
formed.
side of the ship. Come on. That ship was not indestructible. It wasn't.
Well, they said it was. They claimed it
Yeah,
was.
they lied though.
They thought it was, because that's like the best thing they made in 19 Forgotten. That's the only reason why. They thought it was indestructible. They were wrong. They were wrong. Come on, they were wrong.
They made ships in those days. The ships they make today can sink quicker than the Titanic did.
I believe that 100% they knew what they were doing when they made that ship. I believe that they knew that it would be sinkable, and I believe that it was led to its destiny. I do.
Yeah,
I don't believe that they got the right signals and stuff, and that's why they ended up where they did.
What Jim was trying to say is there was like 3 members at the board of committee related to the Rothschilds and Rockefellers of the World Bank, and that they were actually going to oppose the Rockefellers and Rothschilds' decision to put a World Bank in every country in the world. And they were going to oppose the decision, so they scuttled the Titanic by going full speed ahead through a minefield. And the captain was a Freemason, and he went down below and left the second in command to steer the ship. And they couldn't very well see in front of them the icebergs very well, so the ship was actually scuttled. But obviously that's a conspiracy theory, but it's the most logical one of going around. Although you have to consider, some say that there was some memorabilia from the tomb, from the pyramids, and the ship was cursed due to the mummy. That's another theory as well. But the Rothschild, the 3 bankers on the ship had to die, really, and like life is cheap in the eyes of the Rockefellers and Rothschilds, and it would have affected the rulings and the power of the 1% if those 3 had succeeded and made it to America.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying by people on that ship, that they didn't want to be existing. So I do believe it was led to its fate.
Yeah.
That's the theory that me and Jim share, actually, and there's a lot of validations to actually clarify that there is evidence suggesting that as well. Although it can't be proven, because if it could, then they'd be taken to court, wouldn't they?
Queen Mary, the one that went into the Bermuda Triangle and just disappeared. Nobody talks about that ever. It was like the Titanic. Talk about the Queen Mary. That's a more interesting one to talk about. No? Nothing? Nobody knows about it?
To be quite honest, there's a lot of things that have gone into the Bermuda Triangle and got lost and haven't come back. Like, you've got aeroplanes, you've got ships, you've got many things that have gone into that place.
Jonathan Kipp would like to share the fact. He said these are interesting facts about the Titanic, and he didn't know those points. That we could carry on, actually, and tell you a little bit more, you know what I mean, about the Titanic. Yeah, quite amazing. There are other symptoms that could have caused its demise. The bolts were not made of iron. They weren't all made of iron. The iron was weak, so when the ship collided with the iceberg, the rivets holding the plates to the ship actually broke really easy, because they were not sufficient enough to sustain an impact from an iceberg like that. You know, there's quite a few other some other symptoms. Oh, look at that! Wow.
Exactly what I was thinking of. Yep, it's affected. Wow.
Some say the ship actually split in two when it
Mhm.
was as it was going down. Some say it split in two when it was under the water. So there's conflict there as
Is
well because no
anybody
one really
alive?
knows.
Is anybody that survived it still alive? That's
Not alive now, but there were survivors. Yes.
oh, there's nobody alive now. They all
There
died.
was a woman that known as Rose that survived it.
Rose. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
one that they made.
There was a
survived it, and
few.
she did say a lot of the story about what happened on the ship and
Yeah,
stuff.
there was a
there.
few survivors.
There was there weren't many though.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, I don't believe that everybody that was on that ship deserved to die. You know, some of them had to face
No,
the
they
fate.
didn't.
You know,
A
there's many
third of
innocent
the
people on there. Many.
passengers survived. They were women mostly, rich, high class
Yeah,
women.
all of the poor stayed and perished to the bottom. Yeah,
Mhm.
You think a lot of the male elite actually
There's
perished
another
on that
shot.
ship
There's another
because
shot
it
of
was
it
women
breaking in
children
half.
first.
yeah. Like I believe, like when it was going across, and obviously when it hit the iceberg, and the pressure from the water, where the water was going up the carriages, it split. It split
Yeah.
it. So as it goes under, one part fell off, the other part went up, bum went up,
Just a
went down,
bob.
and then they kind of come together at the bottom, but they're not together. They were quite far apart. So you know that is what said happened. It split because of the pressure and the water. And
Thank you for sharing that, Eldon. You're a legend. Very kind.
That's crazy though. I mean, you can imagine what it would be like to be on a ship that's going down.
scary,
It
most definitely scary, because there wasn't any ships that were within distance to be able to get there in time to be able to save a lot of these people. You know, and there weren't enough boats. And they weren't really filling up the boats to the extent that they could. They weren't putting as many passengers on them boats as they should have been. So a lot of people weren't able to get off the ship. So a lot of them jumped or they fell to their death. You know, like yeah.
Yeah. So you
Well,
didn't know
that's
about
kind
that,
of how,
Chris, the Titanic. You hadn't really thought of it like that, had you?
well, that's kind of how 9/11 was too here in the U.S. I was
Yeah.
watching a documentary on that the other day, and you could see the people jumping off the building to their death, like they
Oh
did.
yeah.
Well, there was no other choice. You don't
Oh,
want to be stuck inside the building, have stuff come down on top of you
burned
and
to
be there
death.
for days and days. So they jumped. You know, like. It must be a very scary experience to be going through that. And I don't believe that the 9/11 is the way that people say it to be. I believe that it was all set up. I do
Oh,
believe that was set up by certain governments and
there
things.
was some sort of conspiracy too. I mean, because the war was all around that. Like the war happened right after. It was all about oil. If you ask me, but am I allowed to say that? I mean, I guess it's old news now, right? Technically.
I don't know. I don't
Well,
think
it goes to show you that for it to be like a conspiracy theory suggesting that it was a deliberate attempt of sabotage, it goes to show you how much they value life. Life is cheap for all those to perish in that in the demolition of those buildings.
Yeah.
And the discrepancies, like what hit the third building that caused that demolish itself, what hit it, and the the Pentagon
Jet fuel.
that's
Come on,
got the
a
cameras
plane
on
hit it.
24/7. They had no cameras to validate their claims that they were hit by an aircraft at all. And also, you've got to realise the trillions of dollars in debt that he
Stop it.
raised at the same time as well.
Wait, say that again, Bradley. You're saying there wasn't an airplane didn't hit it. They don't have claims that an airplane hit it.
No, it wasn't
What
a
hit
plane.
the third building?
It was the plane didn't hit. A plane didn't hit the Pentagon.
Oh, the Pentagon.
The
Oh, yeah, I
first
don't know
one, yeah.
about that one. I don't know about the Pentagon. I never. They don't have any. Yeah, but the two buildings. Yeah, I watched it. I watched them go
Yeah,
through it.
but that could be CGI too.
No, okay, maybe. Okay. Oh gosh, Jim, really? You don't think it really happened? You oh, Okay,
There's a lot of things in this
what do
world
you
that are
think hit it
happening
then?
that
What do you
shouldn't be
think? No,
happening.
wait. Now I want to know what you think hit it.
No, all right. Now they showed that they kept replaying that for 24 hours, showing them two planes hit them buildings, right?
Yes.
Which to me is disrespectful to the families of the individuals who perished in that event. Number one. Number
But you
two.
did the
Wait a
same
minute.
thing
Number
with Hurricane
two.
Katrina.
Number two. They can't produce one video of a plane hitting the Pentagon when the Pentagon has hundreds of security cameras around it. But yet they'll play the video of the two planes hitting the towers
Oh, I see.
over and over
Yeah,
again.
I
yeah.
see what you're saying.
Okay,
So they
and
hit it with a
and
missile then. It
and
wasn't
and
actually.
the Pentagon is one of the most secure airspaces in the world. Why would they have allowed a jet to go in there and hit it in the first place?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Because they didn't have control of those. Good point. Wouldn't they have shot it down?
Exactly.
yeah, they would have. Yeah,
Supposedly they shot the other one down that was heading to the White House, right?
They shot one down, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, the one that was supposedly heading to the White House.
so
So
what
how
was
they let that
this?
plane get into the Pentagon area?
You know, guys, if you ask me, I find that every
if there were
year.
passenger planes
Well, listen to
that
this.
hit the towers, why did they not have windows
Well, if you want to go
alongside
on
the
all these
aircraft?
conspiracies, Miss Sherry, if you want to go on all these conspiracies, because you're just talking about the Titanic and all these other things that you don't think are actually fully real or something happened to them in that
I
project.
didn't say that I don't believe that they're fully real. I said I believe they were set up.
Yes,
They were
exactly. They
put
were
that
set
way, and it's the same with the 9/11. It was set up. It wasn't a freak accident. It was set up. I'm sorry, but it was.
They're all
I've
doing it
watched
for an
so many
agenda.
videos
It's like
where the explosion
okay,
started
all right,
from the bottom, not from where the
all right.
aeroplane was. How did the third building come down when nothing hit the third building? Because it was
I love
demolished. It was
That's
demolished.
right.
That's
That's
what I
right.
believe.
That's
But
right.
no,
It was
think about it
demolition.
though, guys. Don't they throw something in your vision every single couple of years just to mess with you, like Michael Jackson all these years? Some kind of sort of court case or something that they can distract you from what's really going on. That's the way I look at it. 9/11 was a
I'm sorry, like
distraction.
They do it for a reason. It's all by design.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
yeah.
That's why I only brought up Michael Jackson because like there was all these court cases that I saw that just seemed to always be like a distraction when something serious was going on with the world. So you got to think of it that way.
What happened to Bradley?
That's just a tragedy. Like that's a different story. Like somebody said that they built a beautiful ship that was never gonna get torn up, but you hit an iceberg. Come on, it's ice. They don't care what it wasn't made out of titanium, it was made out of steel. And it might not have been that good a steel either if it broke a big hole into it. Also, your captain was probably not the best guy. If you didn't see that crap right away. Or no, they had lookouts, didn't they? On that big ship, they had people that were standing on the top that were looking out for icebergs. Because yeah.
McKinville Paranormal's got a point. I know today my cell phone don't work in mid-flight. How did they make calls on flip phones in 2001 from midair?
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
They already had that stuff before then.
I just believe that it was a setup.
Sorry about that. I got abducted.
I'm sure you did.
Oh my gosh, if it was a setup though, what was the point? Oil?
Well, those 9/11 buildings had a lot of information in there that was very private, and they would never want to get out. And I believe that there might have been some sort of leak or something, so they needed to get rid of all that. So it was
Yeah, not only that, not only that, the day before that happened, it came out that the Pentagon was missing like $200 billion or something like that.
Yeah,
And
I
if you
believe that's
notice,
why it was there.
if you notice, they hit both the Twin Towers and the Pentagon.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
And you said they missed the White House, so they made sure the White House one went down then.
Well, that's how they made it look. We don't know the truth.
Mm.
Also, you have to consider the Pentagon. Nothing could get into the airspace near the Pentagon without them knowing.
I was gonna know. I know. Unless they allowed it to. They probably allowed it to. Think
And
about
what a day to pick when the cameras weren't on. The 24-hour, 24/7 surveillance cameras were not operating.
it. Really? They weren't even on? Okay.
No, because and I do, but that's why I believe that like it was a setup, and just by like where the plane hit, and like Jim said, why did the third one go down? Obviously, like I do believe it was a demolition thing. Like that there was a reason for them to get rid of those buildings, and sadly, a lot of innocent lives were killed as well as who they were trying to target.
Rid of
Well,
the-
that also what they did, it also paved the path for them to go into Iraq and invade
Yeah, that's
them other countries, an excuse because of terrorism.
Yeah.
They blame it on terrorism.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that they paid those people? Because a lot of those people were suicide bombers, is what I was understanding.
Well, no, I don't believe it was terrorists that actually committed the crime.
I feel bad for every Arab person who has to deal with that crap. Somebody thinking you're a terrorist.
And out of all that destruction of the buildings, right? They practically dustified, right? And even the steel and everything. So, but amazingly, after all that fire and explosions, they found one of the IDs of one of the terrorists. You believe that?
Yeah, exactly. Why would an idea of a terroristic survive if everything else was demolished? It's a setup, like I don't even believe there was anybody in those planes. I believe that they were mechanically
Yeah, remote control,
flown and put in.
autonomously.
There
Yeah,
was nobody in those planes. Nobody, because
right.
there was not, like the guys in the room said, there was no windows or anything anyway, so you couldn't see if there was anyone driving those aeroplanes either. So I do believe that it was some sort of robotic craft, and they used that with nobody in it.
And everything was demolished, but they managed to find the passports. Is that right,
That's
Jim?
what I'm saying. Yeah. Why would they
Maybe
survive and
they
everything
Yeah,
else?
they found an ID of one of the terrorists in all the rubble. You believe
Yeah.
that? I don't.
Why would that survive after all of that fire and all of that demolishing? If everything else perished, it wouldn't, would it? So
Back Birdie says Twin Towers also changed the insurance to include terrorism. Funny.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, $9 trillion insurance payout.
yeah. A few weeks earlier.
They probably used that money to put it back into the Pentagon.
Yeah, probably. Oh my gosh, you better stop. New
yeah,
weapon.
that as well. That does make sense. Yeah. Why was military helicopters flying close to the towers as they were being hit? Remote control. Yeah, I do believe that those planes didn't have anybody in it. I believe that they were just made specifically for that.
Okay, so
Not
all the people that claim to die in all the movies they made of, it's not real. It's like there was just drone planes going into both of those towers. Is that
Well,
what?
no, there was people in there. There was people in there.
Okay, thank you. I thought you were just saying that there wasn't any people in there. Sorry, but yeah.
Bradley Chester says they tried to get permission to knock down the towers before this happened, and it was denied. So they took it into their own hands for the insurance.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Beck Birdie says yes, domestic terrorist, Jim. She agrees with you.
It's always about money, isn't it?
And if there was people in those planes and that, they weren't aware of what was going to happen. They're absolute normal. So
yeah, there's plenty of conspiracy theories out there, and a lot of them, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Johnny Mark says Bin Laden's still alive, and I also believe that myself.
Bin Laden's still alive.
Yeah.
Think so?
well, you never see his face, did you, when he got hung? Did you really? If you think about it, they put something over his face. So how do you know it was him?
Well, no, they
He's
didn't
probably
show
in
anything.
one of the dump bases underground, like maybe Area 51 or
Supposedly
like
they
Got shot.
they disposed of his body out at sea, supposedly according to the Muslim religion.
Yeah. Well, who would want to see that anyways, other than officials?
Johnny
And
Mark says
even if,
Gaddafi is dead and Saddam Hussein is dead, which is true. Yep.
yeah, Saddam's dead.
You could say that about Saddam Hussein. He found a Stargate he found a Stargate in Iraq, and the Americans found out about it, and that's why they raided. That's what some
And I,
say. Some
Yeah,
say it was over the oil. Oil is black gold.
of course it is.
and I agree with McInville Paranormal that says the most wanted person in the world killed by U.S. Special Forces and not one single photo in existence of his body. Exactly.
Seriously,
Exactly, nothing was put
that is
out, was
great.
it? So
I mean, yeah.
Cool. Defeat. We're going to be on Roku, Jim, doing loads of shows on conspiracy theories, and there's a lot to choose from, isn't there? Really.
Saddam's execution
I know
was
you guys went so many
televised.
different directions. I wasn't prepared for that. I'm over here like, okay, we went from Titanic to all this stuff. Okay, yeah.
I reckon we could blow your mind, Chris, with some of what we
Blow
know
my
about
mind. I
conspiracy
know about all
theories.
this stuff. It's just whether or not I'm prepared to talk about it or not. Let's pick one subject. Let's pick one. What we said we were going to talk about today? Let's talk about that. Did we have a subject?
Well, we were
I'm
talking about
sorry. I'm
religion.
just over here like trying to think of multiple things on each one, and I know about all of them actually. And come on, man, the Titanic is classic. Everybody knows about that and how it split apart. There's like they literally like broke it down and told you how that crap like happened. It took years and years and years of studying for them to figure out how it actually happened. So that right there is like that's why they made a movie about it. But 9/11, yeah, that's a touchy one. I don't know. Yeah.
There you go, Bradley. You can read this one off.
I was looking at that, Jim, actually. I'd like to. Beck Birdie says there's crisis actors are everywhere, and their purpose is to solely act as if they have been targeted. The reason I know this is I signed up for the crisis acting through a model agency. So yes, crisis actors. Ukraine, my old mate, over there eating mega bucks to act as if Russia is attacking Ukraine. There is no war; it's all a movie. Well, that's an interesting concept, Beck Birdie. I haven't thought of that one before.
She's right too. I bet you any money that happens all the time. Oh, wow. You
I
think
got to
those
be
people?
honest, I don't fully agree with that. Jim might be able to back me up on this. I was admin of a group with 330,000 members, and he said to me, like, you don't know what hard is. He said, like, he is a soldier as well for Ukraine, and he's been bombed like 4 times, and he has to fight for Ukraine against Russia. So, and that was from someone who was like, his like
But
words were binding. He had no reason to lie to me. I was his admin.
Yeah, no, I do believe that Ukraine's going through a lot at the minute.
oh yeah,
Definitely,
Yeah, I
definitely.
believe
And
that.
I actually done fundraisers to help them as well on like through channels and stuff. So yeah,
oh, my husband watches that every day. He's very interested in that war. He talks about it all the time. But and then yeah, you can't say anything bad about someone who's a soldier or somebody who's like fighting for their cause. So that's something that like I don't touch upon because
I
it's
believe the war is genuine.
yeah.
yeah, it is. And you see all
Yeah.
those poor people suffering, and they're all like having to be hid down in like underground and things like that, and people having to leave their homes and their place. You know, it's
I couldn't imagine.
heartbreaking.
I had been admin of this group for quite a few years, and the owner had no reason to lie to me. He was actually a soldier for Ukraine, and he was fighting the Russians. And I said to him, like, I was going through a little bit of a hard time, and he was offended and said to me, "You don't know what hard is." He said, "I've got to fight my country. They're
There's gonna
blowing
be
up my city, and
propaganda.
you're having a bit of a hard time at the moment." You know.
I mean, there's gonna be some
Wow.
sort of propaganda. They're always gonna try and like I don't know. Does it seem like they were kind of like making the wars like a little bit like a show in some sort of way when they're all blasted all over the TV? Where back in the day, the older wars, you got noticed by, alarm systems and like sirens and stuff. Nowadays it's like all over the place. What is there to actually believe? Do you believe everything that you're told on the news? No, I don't personally.
I get that, like some of you believe that there is a way behind why, though, there's stuff's going on over in Ukraine. But the simple fact is there is a lot of innocent people that are being brought into this as well, and are being killed and being forced to leave their country because of maybe some other people. Like,
Oh, there's
not everybody's corrupt over there. Not everybody's doing bad things over there, are they? But they're still suffering. They're still losing things.
by one dictator.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I will not talk against war. I will not talk against war because there's been many of them, and many innocent lives killed through wars all over the centuries. So,
And unfortunately, that's all by design as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crusades.
Well, is NASA Nazis?
Wait, weren't we supposed to talk about religion? Why don't you talk about the Crusades?
Absolutely. Yeah, we can. It's not a problem.
No, I'm
Religion.
I know of two people
Religion
that
is
have
war.
returned from Ukraine
It's
that volunteered fighting.
absolutely.
If it is in fact a movie, they are very good at acting.
Yes, they are.
Because I came back missing. He came back missing his leg. The other blinded by shrapnel. Hollywood was nothing. Hollywood has nothing on that movie for sure. That's one serious makeup department. LOL. Yeah, I don't believe it is fictional.
No,
This is definitely happening. They are
Oh
going.
yeah, of course.
I
Yeah,
think I think what she was saying is that for some of the war footage, there are people that probably do make up some sort of something for either just I don't know, man. News is weird. That's all I can tell you. That's why I don't really watch the news. There's trusted channels you can watch, and most of them are not on mainstream news. So that's just the way I look at it. And yeah, there might be people out there faking it. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just sad, isn't it? It's sad what this world comes to and the things it has to do to get what it wants. It's
yeah.
sad.
This world is in dire straits, no doubt.
That's a good analogy too.
The world's heading to hell in a handbasket.
Don't say that. Stop.
Well, that's what's happening.
Maybe.
It's not exactly in a great place, is it? Look at all the stuff that's happening.
Okay, maybe it's not in a great place, but we can get it back there if we all work together. Some of us, the ones that actually care.
Well, yeah, we can, but it's never going to be the same. Like, it's never going to be the same. All the stuff that's happened, like it's not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Y'all just made me sad. Can we talk about something a little happier? Like, come on. Who's had the most
This is a controversial show, sis. You know what I mean? This is what it's going to be like when we go.
I know.
About things. So
well, I think we need to be a little more structured when it comes to what we're talking about, because I thought we were talking about religion and it went into.
No, he did say that before we came on the show that we would be talking about controversial stuff. He didn't say about the religion stuff.
Yeah, I did say religion, but in the introduction, I put paranormal phenomena, spirituality, extraterrestrials, religion, magic. However, in our conference earlier, we ended up saying that Out of the Box is an ideal platform an ideal show to express our thoughts and feelings regarding conspiracy theories, because there's so many conspiracy theories. It's just an endless subject.
You think that it is an endless subject, and I think that you can go down a huge rabbit hole when we talk about this. So let's say this again.
The rabbit hole.
You guys think that a drone hit the Pentagon? That it wasn't an actual like plane. Is that what you were saying earlier? No.
Well, no, there were aeroplanes that obviously hit it, but it's
Pentagon,
not
but
the
the
aeroplanes that
Pentagon
we would
can't
be
be
used
hit.
to. It like something they were different. Like where do any of the aeroplanes we fly in have no windows, where you can't
Just
see in or
watched
see
a
out?
movie the other day.
I've
We
been
were
on one.
talking about movies, okay? We were talking about movies and how like they show you stuff in movies and how they act like this is fake, but it's really actually some shit they're trying to tell. Excuse me for my language.
All
Some
right.
stuff, some stuff that they're trying to tell you about. So in saying that, a movie I was watching had Val Kilmer in it, and he was like a smart guy that they made a laser that supposedly was just a college project. But all of a sudden, the laser is supposed to be able to hit stuff and burn through stuff. So it's kind of the same theory, is it not?
All
Like,
right,
but it's so
let's take a short pause for a good cause. We're going to do a quick commercial.
Good idea, Jim.
Very cool intro.
Yeah, so yeah, this out of the box will be on Roku very soon, and Esoteric Hours will be broadcasting with commercials like that.
Yeah, we're going
Yeah,
to. My screen's been freezing up on me.
Do you feel how heavy? But to be honest, there's a lot of heavy energy around at the moment. Back, there's a lot of things that are going on. So yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes these theories need to be discussed, I think, because I think there is a lot of misleading and not everybody's fully aware of the things that are going on. And I think these are good topics to talk about because they're real life. They're things we've gone through and had to watch, and you know.
That's it, Sherry. Take control now. You're professional.
The truth.
Yeah, Sherry is a professional. You can tell.
Not scared to speak my mind.
Jim's backdrop. It's eye-battling.
Is that me? The echo?
My internet's been slowing down on me on this end.
Should I go back out and come back in?
No,
you're all right now. Just that things going in and out.
Yeah, we can't see her eyes, can we? We can only see half her face.
So I'm creating a humble fire to change the energy burn, what is no good, and to heat up the good.
Yeah, thank you, Beck Birdie, and we'd love to have you back on the show very soon because you are very interested.
Yes, she is.
She is. She's an amazing lady.
You see your eyes now, Chris.
What'd you say, sweetie?
We were saying about how Beck's really amazing. Like she's really, really inspirational. The stuff she comes out with and stuff. She's really good.
Really is. She's got.
Well, I don't agree with her acting in Ukraine.
Yeah, no, but everybody's going to have things that they don't agree with and they see things in a different way. That's what these things are about, aren't they? They're about everybody's got different views in that, and it's about bringing it together and trying to find the truth in it, isn't it? It's not about who's right and who's wrong. It's about passion
Of course.
and what we believe in, you know. So
That's right.
Coming
Thoughts,
together.
feelings, and emotions
yes, it
create
is.
energy. Yeah, I like Jim's backdrop.
Bradley,
It's very cool,
has
actually.
Jim frozen? Bradley, no, he's back. It's okay. He's back now.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I'm
kept
having a
hearing
problem
Yeah.
with my internet connection here.
You guys rock. Oh, thank you, Bradley Chester. That's you, yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind.
Definitely truth seekers always.
always.
Yeah, Truth Seekers, Gail Randeps, thank you very much. That's exactly what we are. That's what this show is all about. Truth seeking.
And you're going to see more of this, guys. Seriously. There's going to be more of this.
Yeah, much more to come.
And please tune into Sherry Brett and Kris Joan Marie. You'll be seeing more of them. They've recently taken over as admin of some of my groups on Messenger, and they'll be taking over as admin on some groups on Facebook soon as well. They are in the esoteric circle. And Beck Birdie says thank you, everyone. And thank you, Beck Birdie, for appearing on Esoteric Hours, and we'll have you back, definitely. Very interesting. Yeah, Beck Birdie's uncle is Lord Admiral Byard. And Beck Birdie, that's his niece, I believe.
That'll be an interesting show.
Wow. Yeah. Yes, basically, Beck Birdie is a celebrity. She is from celebrity status.
Well, Bradley, you went from horizontal to vertical again for some
Yeah,
reason.
I know. Well, do you know what? Like your internet, you're worried about your internet, Jim. I lost mine a little while ago, or I was abducted. I'm not sure. Let's have a go, shall we? All right, I'm going to take a chance.
There you go.
Yay! Oh, whiskey. Hey.
Yeah, so we're gonna be joining. We are gonna be joining more shows like this and stuff, and coming into partnership with Bradley and Jim as well to help like try and bring some more. So it should be really fun. It's gonna be a lot of exciting stuff coming.
And we will be focused on on Roku. This would be us four on Roku TV, and we will be focusing on particular subjects and sticking to the theme as well.
Thank you, sir. Jeez, we went all over the place. I would have had notes.
Because we can't have you researching and then we're changing this theme, can we? The subject, like that's a bit of a waste of time.
Yeah, come on. Got me messed up over here.
However, this Jim's Out of the Box podcast, so talking about conspiracy theories is super.
I do love
because you can't talk about conspiracy theories on Facebook, not really.
Yeah, really.
Right.
No.
Yeah, they suppress your freedom of speech.
They do.
Unfortunately.
Hi there, Candy Fowler. She says, hello, Bradley, Jim, and ladies.
Hello, Candy.
Chris and Sherry. Hello, Candy Fowler. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, Beck Birdie. I'll get Melissa to message Brad and take him on the set in Ukraine. I've been affiliated with a governor of an admin group of 330,000 for quite a few years, and like I was admin to half 500,000 members, and like his group held 330,000, and he is a soldier in Ukraine fighting the Russians, and he's got no reason to mislead me, share misinformation with me, or lie to me. And like he's had his city bombed 4 times. Yeah. So like I do struggle to believe that it's all acting in Ukraine. And as Parafam said, also that what's that say? Out of the box will go to no topic limits on Roku. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Definitely some excellent shows coming. Definitely.
Parafam also said that they have witnessed injured soldiers coming back from the war with missing legs and stuff, and like if it's acting, the makeup department are excellent at their job, because like missing limbs is not acting, is it really?
Mm-mm.
But like, it depends really. Like, we're all entitled to our own thoughts, feelings, and emotions and opinions. So,
Yeah.
but I look at the references, validations, clarifications, and facts is what I look at.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Although, like,
very real.
there's nothing saying Beck that there's not an expansion on the drama that's created in Ukraine. You know, there could be an expansion on the drama there. That's not impossible. I have to bear that in mind. So thank you for sharing your thoughts with us, Beck Birdie.
Yeah, well, we're just about at the top of the hour, so we're going to have to end it.
Okay. And it's been a pleasure having you two ladies on here. And as Parafan was saying, it's unlimited what we can talk about on Roku, and we can talk about conspiracy theories. Thank you for being with us, Sherry, Brett, Kris Joan Marie, and Jim Andre. This is Jim Andre's Out of the Box podcast. I'm his co-host, Bradley Powers. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching.
See you on the next one.
Thank you for supporting us. Remember to subscribe and share this show if you can. Thank you so much.
See you on the next one.